Hello friends! Welcome to today's video where I am going to be talking to you about my chronic back pain story and what has helped me make this experience more manageable. So I do want to give a quick disclaimer, and that is that this is just my experience and what has helped me. Everybody's body is different and everybody's pain is different, so this is not intended to diagnose or treat anybody or to scare you from going to the doctor. This is just what happened to me. So that being said, I'm just going to jump right into it. I started experiencing back pain about a year and a half ago, and it started out so infrequently that I actually thought that it was associated with my menstrual cycle. So I thought that I was maybe getting period back pain or something like that, because it was so rare and it was just so slight. And then over the next 2 months, it started to become more and more frequent, and it also started to become more painful. And by March or April of 2020, which is last year, I was experiencing it every single day. It was extremely uncomfortable. I couldn't sit down. Okay, and Capone's right here too, so don't do that. I couldn't sit down for more than 30 minutes at a time because I was just so uncomfortable. So I first tried to get a massage, thinking that maybe I just had some knots in my back. And at the time, thinking back now, it sounds kind of funny, because I think if it was just knots in my back, I don't know that it would have gotten as bad as it did and that it would have lasted for so long. But I thought maybe getting a massage or two would help, and it pretty much did nothing. So finally I decided to go to the doctor, and he definitely said right away he was feeling my back, and he said that for someone who teaches yoga, my back is extremely tight. So he ordered some x-rays and an MRI to be done. I had those done, and one of the technicians that reviews your x-ray before they send it over the doctor looked at one of my x-rays and made a note that I might have a pars defect, which is a really small fracture in your spine, and it's a fracture in the portion of your spine that connects the front and the back of the spine. So they made a note that I might have that. So I went back for a follow-up with my PCP, and he told me that I have a pars defect, which is a fracture. So he said that I need to go to physical therapy, and that basically I was going to have to make some lifestyle changes. So, for example, he had said that doing back bends was never going to be a good idea for me anymore. And being someone who practices and teaches yoga, that was pretty upsetting to hear. So either way, at the time, I just accepted it, because that was the diagnosis that I was given, so I accepted it, and I went ahead and signed up for physical therapy. And I also asked for a referral to a spinal specialist for a second opinion, just to make sure. I was about to make a bunch of lifestyle changes because of this diagnosis, so I wanted to make sure that that is exactly what was going on. So I went to the spinal specialist, and he had me do another set of x-rays and a CT scan, which is pretty much as in-depth of a shot that they can get of your spine and the muscles and the nerves that are all around the area that was problematic for me, which is my lower back. So I went back to him after I had those done, and he was like, you don't have a spinal fracture, a pars defect. There's nothing wrong with your spine that I can see. So, which was like, wow. So that was extremely shocking to find out that I didn't have a fracture in my spine. And it's not to say that doctors can't ever make mistakes or anything like that, but that's a pretty big diagnosis to give that's not right. So I was a little bit frustrated at this point in time. The spinal specialist put me on a painkiller called meloxicam, which is like a really strong ibuprofen, and it's generally used for people with arthritis. So he put me on that. He said take it for like 4 or 5 days and see if it helps. It did absolutely nothing, so I called back and told them that didn't help me, and basically after that they said there's not anything else we can do for you because we're spinal specialists, and as far as we can tell, your spine is in perfect condition, and other than putting you on a stronger painkiller, which we don't want to do, there's not really much else we can do, so you should go see your PCP again and follow up with them. And I was really, really weary to go back to my PCP, but I went ahead and did it anyway, and he confirmed that I don't have the pars defect, and he told me that I was just gonna have to live with this. So that was also extremely frustrating. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I would assume that there are other things that could cause back pain other than the problem just being in your back, and that was not explored, talked about, nothing. And I don't know, it kind of shook my trust in at least this doctor. I don't want to say all doctors, but I went ahead and did the physical therapy anyway, and that was about 6 weeks, and it didn't help at all until lay down. There you go. Good job. It did not really help me until the last 2 weeks of it. So I did try to go back for more, but my insurance wouldn't cover it, and it's just a lot of money to pay out of pocket. So I kind of just decided that I'll just let it go. I think really what helped me more than anything there was the dry needling, which is similar to acupuncture, but from my understanding, acupuncture has more to do with energy flow and breaking up energy in the body that's causing pain, and dry needling is more, the method is more about putting the needle where they believe the pain is stemming from. So if you have a muscle, a knot in your muscles, they would probably put the needle right in that knot to try to stimulate it to release it. So instead of going back to physical therapy, I did start trying acupuncture, and I went to 2 different acupuncturists. The first one was okay. It just became more of a spiritual journey more than pain relief journey. So I kind of decided to not go with that. And the second one, I actually thought the second one was pretty good. He just spoke zero English, and there was a really big communication barrier. So I could barely understand anything that he was saying, and that was kind of a problem for me because I feel like if you're going to be putting needles in my body, I need to know what's going on. I only went to 2 sessions each, per acupuncturist, and I didn't get a huge amount of pain relief from either of them. So I might revisit acupuncture at some point in time, hopefully with somebody that I can understand and somebody that's going to focus more on where the pain can be coming from. But I have yet to revisit that. I have just been living with this, and I want to share with you the things and lifestyle changes that I have made that have helped me, because statistics show most people will experience back pain at some point in their lives. So I feel like this potentially could help a lot of people, if not right now, maybe down the road. So some of the things that have helped me are: 1, taking turmeric. I take 3 capsules a day, and there's also ginger and black pepper in the turmeric supplement that I take, which I'll link in the description box down below. But turmeric is really good for inflammation. I take that every single day. I originally was taking tart cherry juice, which is also supposed to be good for inflammation, but there's a lot of sugar in tart cherry juice. So I switched over to turmeric, and I feel like that has helped. I mean, there's no way to know for sure if any of these are like the thing that helped. I would say probably all of them, all of the lifestyle changes that I've made collectively have helped, but I definitely feel like turmeric is a part of that. The second thing is daily stretching. I actually have a YouTube video that I filmed, and it is stretches for back pain, which I'll also link below, and I'll try to put it up here or here. It'll be on one of these sides. But the 3 stretches that have helped me the most that I try to do every single day are the knee to chest stretch, where you just lay down flat on your back and you pull one knee into your chest and maybe rock it back and forth a little bit. And then you switch sides and you do the other knee. The hamstring stretch, also staying on your back, keeping your entire spine on the ground or on your mat, and lifting up one leg, keeping it straight, and pulling it in as much as you can to stretch out your hamstring. Also doing it on both sides. And then a reclined pigeon, which, how do I explain that one? It's basically where you are laying down and you cross one leg over the other, and then you pull that little concoction into your chest, and that stretches out the glutes. So stretching out the muscles surrounding your back really helps. Just keeping everything loose helps relieve tension in your lower back. So those 3 stretches in particular have been the most helpful for me. I try to do those every single day. Every time I do yoga, I incorporate those in my yoga flow. So sometimes I end up doing them multiple times a day. That has been a huge help. The third thing is learning about proper alignment during yoga and workouts. So I am a 200-hour certified yoga teacher, and I did know a lot about alignment before I started experiencing back pain, but I definitely did not realize how many different poses and misalignments, and I mean, even just when you're working out like normally, like not even yoga, when you're doing like squats, lunges, deadlifts, all of these things can result in back pain if you are not using proper alignment. Actually, even just like, hi Capone. Even just reaching down to pick something up, if that's a motion that you do repetitively, if you're using improper alignment or poor form, you can give yourself back pain. So learning more about proper alignment was really important for me. A big part of that is core engagement. That is like huge. You know, your core should be engaged when you're doing squats, lunges. Okay, good phone. Hey, buddy, come on over here. Come on over here. So keeping your core engaged when you're doing squats, lunges, forward folds, all kinds of movements will really help to protect your lower back. I definitely noticed the difference because I used to definitely have a sore back after I would work out, and I still do occasionally, but it's a lot more mild and a lot more rare that I experience that after working out or doing yoga. Oh, you're so cute. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about proper alignment, I would definitely follow Yoga with Bryony on Instagram, and I'll link her down below also, because she definitely talks a ton about alignment and good form. Fitness Blender is also a really good one for just like general workouts. They have a bunch of workout videos on YouTube, and they definitely do cue things like make sure your back is flat, make sure your core is engaged to protect your lower back. So they're also really good if you're looking for workout videos that are, I don't want to say that are safe for your back, but where the instructor is very mindful that you could hurt yourself very easily. I will also link them down below. The fourth thing is my bed of nails mat. You guys, the bed of nails mat was a game changer for me. I was a little bit nervous about it. It was kind of an impulse buy. I just saw it. I was just scrolling on Urban Outfitters looking for Christmas gifts, and I saw it and just was like, what the heck? I use it almost every single day for 10 to 15 minutes, and I just lay on it. I usually hug my knees into my chest to make sure that my entire back is pressed into it, because if I put my legs out straight, my back arches up a little bit, and then I'm not getting my whole back on the mat. So if you have one, or if you'd like to try one and you experience back pain, put your knees into your chest. It definitely is going to hurt for a couple minutes, like pretty bad, but as you lay there and breathe, the sensation kind of lessens and it starts to feel pretty good, actually. I would absolutely give that a try. Like I said, it is kind of painful, but if you're experiencing pain all day, every day, then 10 minutes of this probably won't be a big deal. So the bed of nails mat was and is a great tool, resource, whatever you want to call it, to have for chronic pain. And the last thing that has helped me manage my back pain and get through every single day is being more mindful about it. So one thing that I do is that I try to not refer to my pain as pain. For example, if Alex asks me, like, does your back hurt? I'll usually say no, it's feeling maybe a little bit tight or a little bit tense, but I try to stay away from the phrases like it hurts or I'm in pain or something like that, just because of the negative connotation that is associated with pain, right? We see pain as a bad thing, and so when you think like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain, you are more likely to send your body into a fight or flight response, which sometimes is good, so like if you put your hand on a hot stove, you want that fight or flight response to be like, oh my gosh, like there's pain, let me get away from it. But in this case, if it's something that you can't really get away from, if your body starts to go into fight or flight mode, your heart rate is going to probably increase, you're going to get tense, and you're going to become hyper-focused on that pain. And I know for myself, if I would be sitting on the couch watching TV and I would think to myself like, oh my gosh, my back hurts, you'd see me just like start to do like stuff like this, like just like trying to get out of the pain. And really, if you have chronic pain, like that type of thing is all for naught. Like I know for myself, wiggling around, hyper-focusing on it, trying to find like that comfortable spot, unfortunately, it just doesn't really do much. So I try to stay away from the phrases like it hurts or I'm in pain. The second thing is also just telling myself and my body that I'm okay, that it's okay. So I try to talk to myself and to my body when I feel a sensation, and to tell myself like, okay, we're feeling a sensation right now. It's okay. It will go away in a moment or a few moments. And really, I mean, that's all it is a moment, even if it's longer than literally like a minute, it's just a moment in time. For me, that really helps to talk to myself, to talk myself through it, to refer to the pain as something other than pain. Just developing this sense of mindfulness regarding the pain and the situation that I've been put in has really helped. Also, I try to reframe my mindset to think more like this is something that's happening for me instead of this is something that's happening to me. Because for a while, I would go out with Alex or, by myself or whatever, and I would see other people just going about their lives, seemingly not being in pain, and it would like frustrate me. It frustrated me that I was in pain and that they didn't look like they were in pain. And not that I wanted them to be in pain, it just would make me think, like, why me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? And that helps nobody and nothing. So I started to try to shift my mindset to this is something that's happening for me. This has given me a way to relate with other people and hopefully to help other people that are also experiencing chronic pain, because it can really feel like you are trapped within your body if you experience any type of chronic pain. For the most part, at this point, I definitely don't experience constant back pain. It's not all day, every day. And I do absolutely have days where I don't experience any back pain at all anymore. I'm still constantly looking for other things to add into my regime to hopefully be rid of this at some point in my life. But if not, that's okay, because I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now, and the fact that I don't experience it just constantly 24/7 all day anymore. But I am still occasionally getting a massage, and like I said, I might revisit acupuncture again. And if I do, I will give an update on here or on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on there, because I do talk a lot about back pain and chronic pain. If you do have chronic pain or back pain of any type, please know that you are not alone. We are all in this together, and that you absolutely can make it through this, and that there will be something that will help mitigate the pain. Even if it's not anything that I talked about here, there are tons and tons of things that can help. Don't give up. Stay strong. You can do this. It's all within your power, for sure. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and if you found it helpful. Subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I totally lost my train of thought. What? I'm just gonna start over.